Governor Berewori policies are loved by the people of Delta State. Delta State government is not owing any contractor who has in his hand a certificate of job done. What I'm saying is this. The governor had performed so beautifully on the economic front in Delta State. And I pray that we'll continue on this trajectory
of growth,
of revenue generation.
The Delta State government had announced a remarkable increase in its internally generated revenue, rising from about 84 billion naira in 2023 to over 200 billion in 2026, representing a growth of more than 138% as part of effort to diversify the state economy away from dependence on oil revenue. Now, the disclosure was made during the weekend in Asaba during a visit by the delegation from the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission, which was in the state to assess Delta's economic diversification initiative and revenue generation strategies. Now, the State Commissioner of Economic Planning, Mr. Sonny Ekedeye, said the administration of Governor Chief Olori has deliberately repositioned the state economy by investing heavily in agriculture, industrialization, innovation, and other non-oil sectors to ensure sustainable economic growth. Now, according to him, the significant increase in revenue was achieved without imposing additional personal income tax burdens on residents. Now, according to him, the significant increase in revenue was achieved without imposing additional personal income tax burden on residents. He attributed the feat to an expanded tax net, improved revenue administration, enhanced compliance mechanism, and a more efficient collection process. Also speaking, the Commissioner of Finance, Chief Fidelis Telije, highlighted the government's commitment to industrialization through strategic infrastructural development, disclosed that the Kwale Industrial Park will soon be in full energized to attract both local and foreign investors, even as he revealed that the state government was working closely with the federal government to revive the maritime activities through the improved operation of the Warri and Forcados ports. The move, he said, is expected to stimulate growth, commons and industrial growth in the state and the wider Niger Delta region. But the big question is, will all of this truly bring about a change of narrative of turning Delta from a civil service state to an industrialized state? And what more needs to be done to truly actualize this? Well, these and more will take center stage on the show today as we talk at Delta State and industrialization move. That's what we're having as a major discourse. We're talking about Delta State and its plan to industrialize the state. That's what we're having as a major discourse today. And who better to help us talk about this rather than an elder statesman and a member of the APC, and not only that, but also, it's also an economics in high repute. And I'm talking of no other person but Chief Olori Magege. Good day and welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah, good day. Good day, viewers.
Well, anyways, I want us to start with these very information-rich Deltans, and it played out during the weekend where we had members or delegation of the Mobilization and Fiscal Remuneration and Mobilization and Fiscal Commission members visiting the state on account of wanting to really understand how really energized this state is when it comes to the issue of revenue generation. And 138% increase from what we used to have 3 years back, to be precise, 84 billion to close to 200 billion naira. And funny enough, this amounts to a whole lot of money in the pocket of the state government. But let's understand, because they said it was not taxed on existing Deltans, but rather they now spread out their net to get more persons that they felt, or more businesses that they felt should be taxed. Let's fully understand this, because it's giving some Deltans that jittery and saying, are we being taxed excessively, or is the government having another stand as it concerns making more money for Delta?
Tax collection involves two aspects. One, the tax collector. And two, the people, the taxable people that are being taxed and being collected from. What is happening in Delta State is this. Governor Berewori revamped and revitalized the tax collection system.
Okay.
One, the board of the internal revenue, headed by Chief Solomon Igrakpata, since its inception, has been very, very, very busy. I must commend Governor Berewori. Chief Solomon Igrakpata is a seasoned tax accountant. A man who has double MBAs. He's a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants. He's a fellow of the Nigerian Management Accountants. And he has attended so many courses. So when you put a round peg in a round hole, this kind of performance is what you get. So we have competent individuals in the board of the internal generation revenue, doing an excellent job of assessing and collecting the revenue. Okay. So loopholes are blocked. More people are captured into the net.
Tax net.
Into the tax net rather than before. And it also shows that more people are also going into the tax net because the economy of Delta State is improving. When more people are captured and when more people have confidence in government, they willingly pay their tax. And that's what we are witnessing now. So Deltans are passing a vote of absolute confidence in Governor Berewori
on the usage of funds.
On the usage of funds. That is what we're seeing. You can't see what the governor is doing with money and you will not want to contribute your own quota through paying your taxes as at when due. So that's number one. Number two, the governor himself, through many of his investment initiatives, is bringing in investors into the state. The port is being activated. The port of Warri is being activated. The one in Fokado is also being activated. And when these are working, it means that more people are employed, and therefore you are improving the tax base for tax collection.
Okay.
So, all said and done, this is a vote of confidence in what Mr. Governor is doing.
So all you are saying in more clarity is that we're having more persons now being taxed and not more like double taxation.
It's not.
Double taxation has always been the bane of driving business to the ground. So what you are saying now, the Delta State government is having a more robust.
It has streamlined. Yes, it has streamlined the tax collection, the taxation policies, so that issue of double taxation does not arise.
Now let's look at the issue of internally generated revenue, because we're also concerned there.
Yes.
One of the reasons the federal government is also thinking of making every state more viable is for them to also have a need to generate their own revenue rather than running always to the central to collect funds from them. And I want us to understand how it was just a couple of years back and how it is now in 2026, that we moved from an 84 billion to a regime of 200 billion, and how that has truly, it looks as if it's more like a progression. So we want us, I want you to help us understand the growth of that revenue, because let's look at it. In 2022, it was 84. Now in 2026, we're talking about 200 billion. So let's look at the progression.
2025.
In 2025, okay. Because many will say if you overjack it, you might in every way fall into issues. And sometimes if you underperform, it will give the government every need to feel that they are not meeting their needed generation revenue or meeting their required target. So let's understand how the IGR grew and whether it had that steady flow of growth. That is why we're experiencing more now, or getting more from into the coffers of the state government.
Yes. If we go into the table of the revenue generated since 2022 to last year, in 2022, for instance, what we generated was 84 billion and 40 million and some extra, given an average of 7 billion monthly.
7 billion monthly
collection.
We're talking of 2022.
22. That is what that was at the beginning of the tenure of His Excellency. That was when Chief Olori Magege JP took over the executive chairmanship of
the board.
Now, the following year, which is 2023, the revenue collected increased from that 84 billion in 2022 to 114 billion
in 2023.
An average of 9.5 billion monthly. You can see 2 billion increase monthly from 2022 to 2023. If you go to 2024, it jumped to 157.7 billion, which is an average of 13 billion monthly collection. And we moved on to 2025, which is 202.48 billion, coming to 16 billion monthly. And so far for this year, for January, February, March, April.
Just half of the year. First quarter.
Not up to half. It's already 118 billion. Average monthly jump to 23 billion. And if we extrapolate that for the remaining part of the year, we are talking of very close to 300 billion annual generation for government. And that tells a lot. Tells me a lot, and tells everybody a lot about the magic that Chief Olori Magege JP and his team are doing at the Revenue Office. It also tells me that Governor Oberewori policies are loved by the people of Delta State. That's why they are responding by paying their tax charges.
Anyway, as much as you've said that, many Deltans will say, okay, who as much is being given to the government, much is also being required from the coffers of the government to Deltans in infrastructural development. And I want us to go there because as much as we're generating so much, it is only right that those monies are being channeled into what ordinary Deltans will appreciate at the end of it. And I want us now to come to a major that this administration says that this money are always being used for, and that is infrastructure. Now, if you look at the infrastructural development, my questions will be 2 points. But the first one I want us to look at is how far we want to talk about infrastructural development. Now, in 2025, according to our records here, this administration spent a total about 664.5 billion on 362 contracts and projects in 2025 alone. That's what this administration told us. Now, my question is, huge development, 362 projects cut across the 25 local government areas of Delta State. Now, do you feel that this huge generation is the reason that most of these projects, 365 is a lot in a year. It's very, very many in a year. So do you feel that this is the reason why most of these projects are being executed? And is it true, because Deltans are interested to know, that none of these contractors are being owed?
We've said it many, many times on this program, on radio, on newspapers, and all that. Delta State government is not owing any contractor who has in his hand a certificate of job done. Not one.
Of job done.
Of job done. You see, when you do a job, it's certified. Payment is not at when job is completed.
Okay.
There are milestones that once it is achieved and is certified
to hit the specification,
that you've achieved that milestone, you have been given a certificate of reaching that milestone. Each milestone carries a value, and you are paid that value as at when due, to encourage you to continue to move to the next milestone. Delta State government is not owing any contractor that has achieved a milestone and gotten a certificate for that milestone. It's not. You see, in Norway, resources, be it mineral resources, whatever resources, like oil, Norway is very rich in oil.
Yeah.
They don't use that money for development. They invest them. And the earning from that investment is what they use to run the country, as well as the collection from the internally generated revenue.
Yeah.
I am looking at a situation where government itself will be run completely on internally generated revenue.
Can that be done in Delta State?
Of course, yes, it can. We're getting close to it. We're getting close to it. At an average of 23 billion collection monthly, we are getting close to where we can pay salaries truly from internally generated revenue. That will leave the revenue coming from Abuja for infrastructural development. And that would be a wonderful day. And I strongly believe that is what the governor is aiming at. When all the ports are active, when all the private investors, there are overseas foreign investors, they've come. When Kwale and Cocoa free zone,
industrial
zones, industrial parks are active. When the agro industrial park in Asaba
come into
full, we will achieve that. And we'll pass that. After in Lagos, they are close to that. What I'm saying is this. The governor had performed so beautifully on the economic front in Delta State. And I pray that we'll continue on this trajectory
of growth,
of revenue generation.
Okay, let me drag you back to infrastructure, because that's where I want us to be. Now, do you feel that one of the reasons we are having huge infrastructural development in the state is because the state is planning to move to more of an industrial state rather than a civil service state that this state is being tagged with? Do you see that as a reason why we're having far more infrastructural development cut across the 25 local government of the state?
Any government that is worth the name government must develop the industrial base of the state. Must. It's a must. Because once the industrial base is developed, employment will be surplus. And once employment is surplus, crime will go down considerably. There's nobody who is meaningfully engaged that will leave his job and commit crime. And when people are fully employed, there is money to spend on the self, money to spend on education, money to spend on hospital bills, and money to spend on luxuries. And what do I mean by luxuries? If you are very comfortable and you have surplus money, you'll want to go to, you want to go and spend a weekend with your family in a luxurious hotel. Follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want to eat out. Point and kill. You know, that place I saw you the other day.
No, not me. No, I was doing an interview there. Just go ahead.
Now, all these are accelerating the economic activities. Money kept in a bank, or money kept in a bank, your own private bank in the house, does not boost economy. It's circulation of money, the velocity of money that makes economy grow. So, when people have money and they are spending the money reasonably, economy is booming. So, the government is, you can see for yourself. Just recently, some investors came. When we have Delta State Investment Forum. Investors you don't see a plan coming today and going to just by magic. It requires planning. The investors come, they discuss, they get partners. That leads to the private partnership project. PPP. Because it means that 2 or 3 persons meet and they discuss. And government is one of the parties. And they say, okay, let's do this. You, government, you bring us land. And that leads to the improved land management of Delta State government, where since 2012, all the certificate of occupancies that have been issued have been digitalized for ease of accessibility, for proper land management. You will bring land, you will bring equipment, and you will bring working capital. When these three meet, there is.
We'll come back to the PPP issue, and I'm just a bit curious because Deltans would like to know. Recently, some other contracts have been awarded, and one that seems to be getting a whole lot of Deltas excited is the issue of the reconstruction of the road all the way from Efrun down to MPA, which was awarded this year itself. And many Deltans are saying that the completion time of that road is tied to politics. That is the rumor outside, and that is what many are saying, that it is only tied to politics, that why the road will only be finished come after the elections, that this is just only a way to get Deltas into electing this administration once again. I really would love your reaction to that very.
The important thing is finished. What is important is the road will be finished. Whether it's finished before election or finished after election, it does not matter. It will be finished. And the length of the road, right from Efrun to MPA, is not 1 foot, it's not 10 yards, it's several kilometers. It's not going to be achieved one day. It's going to be over time. And they've already started on it at the Efrun roundabout.
At the Efrun
roundabout. Let's not be cynical. And let's not start to read politics into everything. Let's give credit to where credit is due. If the road is finished, it's not only APC that will drive on the road.
Of course not.
It's not. It's not only one party that will use the road. Everybody will use the road. Everybody will enjoy it. But most importantly, that road is very crucial to boosting activities at MPA. Sometime I came here and we're discussing the port.
About the MPA.
Yes. And I was even suggesting that we should bore a road from Ujewu, where there is a rail terminus. We bore the road through the river to pass into MPA, so a vehicle could drive there straight and into the railway line
without assessing the main town.
without coming to the main town, and then utilizing the rail
as
to
a means
move
of
goods.
movement,
Yes.
to other part of the country.
Now, the governor has done a full roundabout, has done PTI flyover,
DSC.
has done DSC roundabout flyover, and is doing Ugele flyover. I'm raising this because that is the direct road to Onitsha, where goods discharged at Warri Port will mostly move to. So you see,
So it's a calculated attempt to bring about industry base of the state. Let's understand that.
More than that. Because if goods are being discharged at the port in Warri, and there's no road to move them, you've not achieved anything. Are you getting what I'm saying? The goods must be moved. It must be moved either by rail or by road. And he has chosen the easier one and the cheapest one, the road.
Okay.
By making traffic movement very easy and very quick, very effective and very efficient. So a full roundabout was a roadblock. So also the PTI
and
so also
DSC.
yes, so also Chogodu.
Or
See,
Inugeli.
see how he has solved that problem for ease of movement of goods from the port to wherever the goods are moving to. That will boost the activities of Warri Port. And when that place is very active, you don't need to say that Warri will boom. Warri will boom.
Okay. Now I want to bring you back to the PPP model, which we know that this administration is indeed pushing through the Delta State Investment Development Agency, DIDA, that we know. And let's look at some of this partnership, because like we do know, in the sustenance of any business, the government cannot do it alone. And sometimes government is indeed being accused of not being too good in business. We can go on and list some parastatals of businesses that government owns that has now
Government
crumbled.
is a bad business manager.
Okay, well, better
For real reason.
better put by you. So
Yes.
let's look at some of the PPP arrangements and how they will holistically change the narrative in Delta, because that's what Deltas are looking for. You talked about, Delta State would naturally give you the land and look for all those major managers of businesses that will now bring the capital and all to bear to ensure that it works. Now let's look at this PPP arrangement and how we can help transform Delta. Because all we are really concerned, many will say the biggest talk of Deltans here, and why you talk out the IGR is being generated more, is that we're having so much workers that are being taxed, or having only that the tax scheme, but less businesses that will naturally be not only job creators, but revenue generators. So let's look at the PPP arrangement.
I'll just give a simple example of why government is a poor manager of business. Government is not run for profit purposes. Public enterprises are not meant for profit generation.
Okay.
Private businesses generate profit.
Yes.
And it is from that profit they maintain themselves and they grow. And also pay dividends to their shareholders.
Okay.
Look at the glass factory in Ugele.
Better Glass.
Better Glass. Better Glass is privately owned. There is also Bender Glass on the other side of the road. In the same place. In the same place, had gone under decades ago. That was to build flat sheets
of glass,
like for your windscreen, like for your doors and windows. It went under. Why? Poor management. The orientation is different. It is not the individuals who are the managers that are not good. It is the orientation. Government is not run for profit. Government is run to provide services to people. Private companies are run to make profit for the owners. That orientation makes a lot of difference. So private partnership thing will enhance businesses because one, government is out of it. But government will provide what is best for it to provide, land. And where possible, it can also inject capitals.
Okay.
But the management of the resources of the company is left for private partners to do. That way, the business can be run as a private business to generate profit as ongoing business. That makes a lot of difference.
Okay.
So, running projects where to ensure the confidence of the investors, to guarantee the confidence of the investors in government, government puts in it. Government contributes to it. That improves the confidence of the investors. And that encourages them to put more money and to put more effort to make sure that the project succeeds. So that way, government gets from dividend. Government is paid dividend. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, very well.
Government also taxes the entity. So government is making money from dividends that is paid. Government is making money from taxes or by the company itself, and also taxes on the workers.
Okay.
So government is a winner all round.
Okay.
So PPP is the best way to go in a country like Nigeria, where management skill is needed. Private management skills are needed to boost economic activities.
Now, still talking about the PPP arrangement, whether we like it or not, it's a lofty idea, and it will only help to generate jobs and create or make Delta more of an industrial hub, like we have in Ogun, Lagos, and other states like Port Harcourt itself. But there's always a problem that's been associated with the issue of having investors here, and it's the issue of DEVE. DEVE has always been a problem. On the mining, we have the Public and Private Property Protection Law of 2018. Many still feel that one of the reasons most businesses are not coming to Delta State is the issue of DEVE and how that has chased many businesses away from here. And if not properly looked into by this administration, worry investors will only woe them here and DEVE will send them away. So let's look at the issue of DEVE and how this government is aiming and trying to ensure that that doesn't come into play when they finally invite
DEVE is illegal in Delta State. It's been proscribed. If you are a private developer or you are a contractor doing a road project or whatever, and anybody comes here and asks you to forcibly make a contribution to some youth or a community, that project, if it is from a community, that project is cancelled and moved to another community.
That's the stand of this government.
That's the stand of this government. If, for instance, a road is being constructed in Agbaro, an Agbaro community, through its various organs, development unit and all that, or through the king, approaches the contractor and say, you must give us this DEVE. That job is cancelled and moved to another community. It's standard. For the youths, if they are arrested, they're prosecuted and jailed. It's a law. And I am looking forward to the establishment of the state police.
Okay.
Because the state police will be in a better position to enforce that law. No, DEVE is no longer a problem that it used to be those days. It's no longer a problem. It's part of the security, the handling of security by the government.
Okay.
Where we are relatively safe in Delta State compared to some other states.
Okay. Now, as much as we've settled the issue of DEVE, because we're still looking about how we can industrialize Delta State to be a business hub. Another major issue that many are saying that this administration should also focus on, apart from the building of roads and bridges, is the issue of power generation. Now, according to our information, know that the Delta State has boosted and installed power generation capacity of, or rather, Delta State boasts of having a 3,000 capacity of generation, majorly in two major cities, in Ughelli and Okpea. This is capable of generating about 3,000 capacity of electricity. But as it stands now, we only use just 200 megawatts, which is a far cry from the 3,000 capacity that is being generated in Delta State. So let's look at how Delta State government can help enhance this huge capacity to generate power, to make it more effective for the industrialization of this state, especially when it comes to businesses that wants to invest here. Power generation and the use of it.
You see, power generation is one end. Power distribution.
But even its distribution, we're talking of, not even generation.
Yes, distribution
because
is the problem.
200 megawatts of electricity being only used here when we had about 3,000 capacity generation.
What is being generated can only be distributed through those strong wires that you see all over the places. High tension, 33 kVA and all that.
Yeah. Step down,
transformers and all that. The capacity for distribution is controlled by, is it NEPA? The power holding.
Yeah.
The power holding companies. And that even is finite. When we talk of power grid collapsing, it's because they're overused. We are still operating in 2026. Equipment that were sometimes 30 years old, 40 years old.
Yeah.
They cannot cope. And in expanding this distribution network, it's very expensive and it's not a day's job.
Yeah.
It's a gradual process. At least we solve one end. We are generating power.
Yeah.
The development of industrial parks will accomplish proper usage of generated powers. Because we can now develop dedicated power lines
to these
industrial hubs. Are you getting me? It will be cheaper. For instance, if you have an industrial park somewhere in Efrun, between Okpe, Efrun, Agbaro, you can easily direct power generated to that area. It will be cheaper to run the cables. So it's a gradual thing, but let's continue to encourage government. You are working on power generation. Now let's work on power distribution. That is why you see that Aba, for instance, they are able to generate and distribute because of limited space.
Yeah.
It's not over the entire state.
Just a concentrated area.
Concentrated area.
Business area.
You see. So we have industrial free zone in Koko and Kwale. Let's concentrate power there. We have agro-industrial base industry in Asaba. Let's concentrate power to the place. We have universities. Let's concentrate power to we're not saying other places are not important. Every place is important, but we're saying in terms of economic viability, let's focus on those areas for now as we expand power distribution.
Well, anyway, in case you're joining us, indeed, it's dialogue, and we're starting off the week on a talk. Many will say it's always right to come back home, and home we are, especially with the view that this administration of Delta State is planning to diversify the economy and make it not only oil-based, but not only grow IGR, but also make it more of a business hub. Hence, a need for us to talk about it, especially with the visit of the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission delegation that visited the state only recently, and how they are pushing to see how Delta State is indeed changing from that narrative of being a civil service state to more of an industrial hub. That's why we're having this discussion right here, right now. And I will say I have no other person but Chief Olori Magege helping out with giving us the economic blueprint, almost like the economic blueprint of this administration, and making us understand what direction they plan to take. Now, talking about the direction that many Deltans are hoping this administration is planning to take, is the issue that you raised initially, and I want us to now visit that, and that is the MPA. If you do understand, only last year, funds were being released by the federal government for revitalization of the MPA port. We do know some vessels are already coming, but far cry from what it would naturally be. I will also learn that the seating of the river band to make it more expanded so we can have more big vessels coming in to dock and also bring in their wares. Now, let's look at how MPA is critical in changing the narration and how this administration can help bring about that vision of making Delta more accessible than everybody running either to the Bonny port or going to Lagos port to do business.
When you talk about MPA, it's like writing my own history.
Your own history?
Yeah. Because I grew up in MPA, Warri.
So you are a port man or a port boy there?
Yes. I worked
but you're still a boy.
When I was in Urhobo College.
Okay, sir.
I was working in the port, loading cement and all that. My late sister had a canteen, a buka, by the gate of MPA, cooking food for the MPA staffs. MPA was running 24 hours shift at that time. Ships were coming in, discharging and discharging and discharging, and carrying cargoes away. That stopped. Lagos, Apapa took over. And due to politics, all these ports died. I remember we've discussed this port once. The quality of the road from Fro roundabout to MPA, built by Dumais at that time, tells you how important
the port was
then. Then it was allowed to die for political reasons. Goods meant for Onitsha are being discharged in Lagos, and transporters have to go through the hell of go-slow in Apapa. It doesn't even know
the dreadlock is still there up to now.
It's still So goods that ought to move within a day to Onitsha and to the east have to remain at the port, at the go-slow for days. And the importers accumulate demurrage
by the
day. Not because of their fault, but because the facilities were not there. And we must salute Operegori for the MPA road that is constructed now. For all the flyovers, because people who are short-sighted will not know what these things are meant for. When vehicular movement is enhanced, goods flow fast, and economic activities boom. What the Agbero will say, when tire roll, Agbero will shop. Tires cannot roll on bad roads. So the development of MPA road to link the ultra-modern flyovers to Ugele must be seen as a very strategic move by state government to exploit fully the economic benefits of the revitalization of the Warri Port. So the Warri Port is very vital.
Do you see it as a game changer?
It's a game changer, certainly a game changer. It's not something new. We have experienced it. And it's not like we are building a new port. The port is there. The facilities are there rusting away. It's just like DSC. You are not building a new factory at DSC. They are there. All you need to do is do some servicing and they roll back to life. So the MPA Warri has all the cranes, all the warehouses, all the equipment needed for loading and offloading cargo ships. That's what a port is. A seaport is not different from the motor park, where vehicles load and offload. So the port in Warri, the park, let's use the very easy language they will understand. The ship has anchor lines there. They are all there. They are not only ones. They can be expanded. But let of us you fully utilize what is there. And it's not like we are taking anything from Lagos. We're not. Lagos is not eating what is already there. Lagos mouth is full. They can't have two mouths. They only have one mouth, and that mouth is full. And good food is left there rotting away. So let somebody else steal those food. I'm just using an analogy for people to understand what we're talking about. So Oborevori is set for the port. And nothing indicates that more than the building of the roads. So the port is a game changer.
Okay.
It's a real game changer. All we need to do is to desilt. Let federal government come. I think they are desilting already. They are desilting the waterways.
Okay.
Desilting means you make the waterway, the road. Let's try to use the
local
understandable the road that the ship will pass.
Yeah.
The ship is more in the bottom of the river than at the top. So it needs to float.
Yes.
And if there's no sufficient body of water around it cannot float.
Yeah.
So we need to construct the road for the ship. That is by dredging the sand. By dredging the sand and making the waterways wider, but most importantly, deeper.
Deeper.
Yeah.
For ships
of bigger ships
to
dock.
Okay, well, anyways, as much as you've said that time is not a friend, and we'll soon be really wrapping up. We'll be talking for close to 50 minutes now. But one question that will be on the mind of many Deltans, especially, is what can be done more to bring about that true industrialization of the state? Security. Recently, the Delta State Security Summit was held, and critical stakeholders were all invited to have their say as everybody anticipates the coming of state police and all that will be. And we also do know that this administration has also given money or bring out funds for the rehabilitation of some major police divisional headquarters in the state. That we do understand in 25 local government. But let's come to, apart from security, what more needs to be done to change the narrative of the state? Because that's the reason we're having this discussion. Whether you like it or not, whether it's all about elections, whether it's all about the different ethnic group of this state, the most important thing is making this state rejig, having that re-energized vigor to bring about a business narration and a business direction that this state needs to take.
We need peace.
Critical. First
and foremost. See how the governor resolved this delineation problem.
Okay.
That delineation problem was capable of setting Warri ablaze. Relationships that were being built and being improved upon could have disintegrated overnight because of that delineation. It's all part of the development of the state. Because nobody grows. Economy does not grow
in an atmosphere of rancor.
In a state of anarchy.
Yeah.
So peace. We need peace, absolute peace. We need to love each other. You see, no ethnic nationality in Delta State will leave his place for another. No ethnic nationality in Delta State has the power to move one ethnic nationality away. We are stuck here, not by our design, but by divine design. We might as well start to live together in peace. Because there's enough for everybody.
Yeah.
Those in the divine area, there is the blue economy for them. Do you know all that? The people are now fishing in the ocean. They build cages they call it aqua fishing. They build cages in the ocean where they rear fishes. We have 100 and something kilometers of shoreline in Delta State for fishery to develop. Do you know the amount of money you can make from crocodile? Crocodile skins. We have crocodile bags, crocodile shoes. Those Gucci, is it Gucci they call them? Gucci. Gucci. Those shoes, they are made from crocodile. Wristwatches, crocodile chains or belt. You make huge money from there. So, all these are available in Delta State that people can exploit. People can exploit for their own economic development. So, a place so blessed with abundance, why are we fighting on just a little? When all we need to do is to apply our number 7.
Think tank.
It's boom, boom, boom. Everybody's happy. All we need to do is to go back to the 60s. What is it that they were doing in the 60s that made Warri boom, made Chapele boom, made Cocoa boom, that we are not doing now? We need to go back to that. Why is it that rubber was the mainstay of our economic development then and not now, when plastic is everywhere? Why? Why is it that we have beautiful sand, silicon, that produces the best quality of glass? Why are we not exploiting it? We have kaolin. Kaolin is that native chalk. It's a principal ingredient in the use of ceramics. Yeah. Why can't we go back into ceramics? After all, we are not new to ceramics. Our forefathers were using pots, clay pots. You remember that? Yeah. We were cooking with clay pots, eating with clay pots, doing everything with clay pots. Why have we allowed that to die? Why have we not improved on that? These are the challenges that we have. And it can only be solved when we, the citizenry, not the government, take up these challenges. All the government needs to do is to provide enabling environment. Show us the way, and then we copy. So, yes, there must be attitudinal change on our part, the citizenry, and there must be encouragement boost
from the government,
motivational boost from government. And I think, boom, we're done.
Anyway, boom, we're really done on the show, though. And I really need to thank you so much. And I'm talking of no other person, but Chief Olori Magege, for coming up to tell us how much of a MPA boy, how much of economic
MPA boy. I'm an MPA boy.
How much of an economic boost?
That is why I relate very well with Sheriff. Sheriff is a street boy. I'm a street boy.
So I really need to thank you for coming and doing this with us. We truly enjoy your time with us, especially as it concerns what this state needs to do to move forward and also to change that narrative of being a civil service state, but that of an industrial hub with everything already available to make it that. And especially those that are being built on by this administration. We really appreciate you for your time. I know how really wet the day has been, but yet you needed to come to do this for the love of Deltans and Delta itself. I really want to say I would really appreciate your time with us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for kickstarting the week with us.
Thank you.
And for we, it's more like a wrap on the show today. And we always emphasize that the show does not end here, just in the studio with our discussion. Let's get your reaction, take, and views, especially as it concerns it. What does this state need to do to change that very name or tag being given to it, from that of just a worker state to that of more of an industrialized state that will bring about more smiles, more jobs, and indeed more glory to the big heart. That is what we want to get from you. Send us your comments, contribution, and reactions. They will truly be appreciated as much as we appreciate all the comments that have been coming all this while on account of our shows. We truly want to say we're honored and we're grateful for that. But anyway, talking about being grateful, well, you do know the show is just kickstarting. We need to go on a break now, and the news will come pretty soon. It's still Viewpoint on Atlantic TV. God bless you.